Once again, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about photovoltaic cell or solar cell. So photovoltaic cells are basically those semiconductor device that shows sensitivity towards the light. So it has the ability to change radiation energy into equivalent electrical energy. So photovoltaic cell can be defined as those semiconductor devices that show sensitivity towards the light. Or we can be defined since it's the ability of the semiconductor device to change radiation energy into equivalent energy is called photovoltaic cell. So name of the photovoltaic cell, it shall show its operation. As the word photo is used for light and voltaic is used for electricity. So it is a device which converts light into equivalent electrical energy. So we call this photovoltaic cell as solar cells. So it makes use of solar energy. So the working principle of the device is based on the photovoltaic effect. So we can see what is photovoltaic effect. So photovoltaic effect is the combination of physical and chemical process that generate a potential difference when the device is exposed to radiation. So photovoltaic effect is the combination of physical as well as chemical process that generate what a potential difference. This physical and chemical process will generate a potential difference when the device is exposed to radiation. Here radiation maybe we call it is a solar energy, we can be solar light radiation. This generated voltage is corresponding to the incident and this voltage is corresponding to the incident radiation or solar energy. So it is to be noteworthy in the case of solar cell that it does not need an external voltage source. So here we are not using any external voltage. Why? As due to the applied luminance, because the applied luminance, a proportional voltage is generated at the junction of the device. So this is the photovoltaic effect. So it is a physical and chemical process to generate potential difference when the device is exposed to some radiation. So construction of solar cell. The photovoltaic cell is a semiconductor PN junction. This is a PN junction device, but it is not similar to normal PN junction diode. There is some difference in the construction of this PN junction. It is formed by the combination of p-type semiconductor material with the n-type semiconductor material as the case of PN junction. Usually silicon, selenium are used as the basic semiconductor material. However, gallium arsenide, cadmium sulfide are also majorly used material for the construction of photovoltaic cell. So the figure shows the cross-sectional arrangement of the solar cell. There is a n-type region is there. This n-type, the speciality of this n-type region is the top, it is a top layer and it is very thin compared to the p region. Now let us see the p region is here. Here the n region is made very thin in comparison to the p region. N region is this blue color, it is very thin compared to this brown colored p-type region. In between there is a depletion zone is there. And there is a back electrical contact in the p region and a finger contact in the front electrical contact to the N region. And the above in the N region there is a glass or an anti-reflective coating is there. So that this layer will be helped to collect maximum photons. And we can measure the potential across this N and P region by using some meters connecting to these electrical contacts. So the reason why we have to construct the two regions differently is that the region from where the light ray is allowed to incident must be thin. We will see the end region is very thin because it is to allow the light rays to come into the depletion region. So the incident radiation can be easily penetrate to the depletion or a PN junction. That is why the end region is made thin. So the layer of glass, as I said earlier, the layer of glass placed at the top surface of the device is in order to gather maximum incident radiation. So non-reflective coating is used for gather the maximum incident radiation. Also, there is metallic fingers are provided at the top surface of the structure. Here we have used silver fingers as they are good conductors and absorb the released electrons easily in order to provide proper conduction. So this is the construction of the solar cell. Now let us see how the working principle of a solar cell. When light reaches the PN junction, the light photons can easily enter into the junction through very thin, there is not p-type, this is an n-type layer. So here the n-type layer is very thin. So the light reaches the junction, light reaches can easily penetrate to the n layer to the depletion region. There are this top layer may be p-type as well as n-type material. It is corresponding to both materials can be, we can be used this instead of n-type material, we can use p-type also, the top layer. Then if you use p-type as the top layer, the second layer is naturally, this is n-type. So here we use this is not p-type, this is an n-type layer. So the light energy, the form of photons, supplied sufficient energy to the junction to create a number of electron-hole pair. So that means the light energy supplied sufficient, that is light energy in the form of photons. This is the form of photons, supply sufficient energy to the junction. Here is the junction to create a number of electron-hole pairs, EHPs, electron-hole pairs or electron-hole pairs, EHPs. So the incident light breaks the thermal equilibrium condition of the junction, and due to this the thermal equilibrium condition will be breaks, and the free electrons in the depletion region can quickly move to the end side of the junction. So due to this process, due to electron-hole pair generation, the free electrons will be moved to the end side as shown here. Free electrons will be moved to the n side and the holes will be moved to the p side. So this is the condition where what happens when the photons will be reached. Here electron-hole pairs will be generated and electrons will be moved to the n side and the holes will be moved to the p side. So similarly, holes in the depletion region can quickly come to the p side of the junction. So once newly created free electrons come to the n side, these electrons will be moved to the n side, cannot further cross the junction because of the barrier potential of the junction. So once this electron is moved to the n side, cannot cross this junction because of this barrier potential. Similarly, the newly created holes once come to the p side, holes come to the p side, cannot further cross the junction because of the same barrier potential of the junction. So here, due to these photons, electron hole pairs are generated, and generated electrons will be moved to the n side and holes will be moved to the p side. And due to this barrier potential, further these electrons cannot cross this barrier, or holes cannot cross this barrier, and these electrons will be accumulated at the n side region and holes will be accumulated at the p side region. So as the concentration of the electron become higher, concentration of the electrons become higher in one side, that is n-type side of the junction, and the concentration of the holes become more the other side, that is p-type side of the junction. The p-n junction will behave like a small battery. So this is the concentration, the n side is increased due to the electrons, and the holes will concentration, the p side will be increased. So it will be act as a battery or a cell. So voltage is set up, which is known as photovoltage. And if we connect a small load across the junction, there will be a tiny current flowing through it. So if you connect a load, so this is a single cell. By using this type of cells in a serial combinations, we manufacture the solar panels. So the current is more. It is around, corresponding to the panel, can generate around 50 ampere current, like that, depending upon the panel. So here it is only single cell. Single cell will be very small, current will be flowing through it. So the criteria of materials to be used in the solar cell. So we up to now we see the construction and working principle of a solar cell. Now the criteria of materials to be used in solar cell. The first criteria, it must have a band gap from 1 electron to 1.8 electron volt. It must have high optical absorption. It must have high electrical conductivity. The raw material must be available abundance, and the cost of the material must be low. So these are the 4 requirements for a solar material selection for the solar cell. Now let us see the different materials. The materials which are used for this purpose must have band gap close to 1.5 electron volt. Commonly used materials are silicon, gallium arsenide, CDT, that is cadmium telluride, CuLnSe, that is copper indium selenide. Are some materials we are used for the manufacturing of solar cells. Then advantage of solar cell. No pollution is associated with it. First advantage is no pollution. So nowadays we will be depending upon these solar cells for generating electricity. The second, it must be last for long time. No maintenance cost. So these are the advantages of solar cell. Also there is some disadvantages are there. So it depends upon the weather. So cloudy weather, then the solar generation is not that much. Very small solar generation is occur. So strong solar energy is, storage of solar energy is especially because we need batteries. Occupies more space because the efficiency is very less. These are the 3 disadvantages. And the applications of the solar cell: electrical fence, remote lighting system, water treatment, water pumping, emergency power, satellite power supplies which are portable. So main source of the satellite, energy source of the satellite are the solar cell. So many advantages of the solar cells are there as considering our country. So it is a it is a renewable energy source. Actually, it is a renewable energy source. Nowadays, the government will give more subsidies for this solar energy generation. So these are some applications of the solar cell. So now I think you can follow me, and also I thank you for listening me.